Hey guys, welcome back to a new Battlefield 6 tips and tricks video, and today I want to go into everything that can get you spotted in Battlefield 6, the duration of it, the range of it, and also how to counter it, because I think this is the most important part. And we're gonna get right in with the self-spotting when shooting, because in Battlefield 6, whenever you fire your weapon without a flash hider or a suppressor, you will appear as a red dot on your enemy's minimaps, but also with a red dot above your head, at least for the duration you're shooting. So when you start shooting, the red dot appears, and when you stop shooting, the red dot disappears. If you're not using a flash hider or a suppressor, this is an infinite range, so all across the map you will appear as a red dot for the whole enemy team. But when you start to use a flash hider, at least the 3D spotting disappears, so that red dot above your head, but you still appear on the enemy's minimaps, also all across the map. When you start using a suppressor on your weapon, and here it doesn't matter which one of the suppressors you use, they all work in the same way. So when it comes to spotting, there are no differences here. And when you use one of those, you will completely avoid the 3D spotting as well, and you will only appear on the enemy's minimaps as a red dot for all enemies that are within 15 meters around you. For everyone that is further away, they will not see you on their minimaps as well. So if you want to go stealthy, you should definitely use a suppressor on your weapon. Next up, there is proximity spotting, and this is the so-called hollow diamond. And like the name suggests, this only happens in close proximity, so within 25 meters, and only for enemies that are within your line of sight. And this is only visible for you, not for everyone else. Not for your squad mates, also not for your teammates. When you point your crosshair away from them, the hollow diamond will disappear. If you want to turn this hollow diamond into a solid diamond though, you need to press the spotting button, which is Q on PC, or at least by default, LB on Xbox or L1 on PlayStation. But I would recommend to move this to R1 on PlayStation and RB on Xbox, because this is a bit more intuitive. And once you've done this, this enemy is spotted in 3D and on the minimap for your whole team for 7 seconds. And when you are a recon with a sniper training path, then the enemy is spotted for 10 seconds. But as soon as the enemy moves behind cover, so out of your line of sight or out of your teammates' line of sight, the red dot above their heads will not be visible anymore. But if they move out of cover or out of smoke as well within these 7 seconds or 10 seconds that they are spotted, the red dot will appear again. In addition to this, you can also mark the enemies with this red bracket around the red dot, and to do this you need to double tap the spotting button. But this is then only visible for your squad mates and not for your teammates, but this is a good way to tell your squad, hey, let's go for this enemy. You can also do this on objectives and vehicles and so on. So it's more of a communication tool with your squad. And in addition to this, there's also the so-called situational spotting. So here you can place a marker somewhere across the map, because maybe there is danger, maybe there is an enemy hidden behind cover, or you just want to tell your squad to go there. So also another communication tool. And both of these markers, so the bracket around the spotting and also the situational marker, are visible on the minimap and also in world, so in 3D, but only for your squad. The marker as well stays for 12 seconds or until you place a new marker, and for this one there is no counter for the enemy, because that's what it's made for. If the enemy disappears behind cover or in a cloud of smoke, you can still mark them over there with this little flag or with this little marker. Now moving on to the Recon class specifically, because the Recon is the one that can basically spot you in any situation and any time on the map in Battlefield 6. And first of all, we have two traits or two passive abilities that Recon can use. The first one is Aim Spot, which is the trait that Recon has no matter which training path you use. And this means that you only have to aim down sights and have an enemy within your crosshair to automatically spot them. This has a short delay of 1 second to get activated, and then the enemy is spotted for 9 seconds. And this red dot also appears in 3D, so in the world, but also on the minimap for your whole team. But for the enemy, if they disappear behind cover or in a cloud of smoke, this breaks the spotting. And then there's also target acquired that you can find on the Recon's sniper path on level 1. And this means that when you damage an enemy, they also get spotted, also on the minimap and in 3D for your whole team. This is happening for 8 seconds, also on any range, and your only counter for this is to either get behind cover or disappear in a cloud of smoke. And then on level 3, for both of the Recon training paths, you can find the UAV that Recon can call in, and this will not spot enemies in 3D, but it will spot them on the minimap as red dots, also for your whole team, for duration of 60 seconds and for range of about 100 meters. What you can do when you are on the receiving end is either to destroy the drone when it's circling around you, or you disappear behind cover, so maybe in a house or in a cloud of smoke. So smoke is really the one thing that basically breaks every spotting in Battlefield 6. One thing you should know as a recon though, when you want to use the drone, is that it doesn't move around with you, but that it circles the area where you call it in. So if you call it in at an area where it's not really useful, then you might not spot many enemies for your team. So be sure to only call it in when you actually want to have it in this area. But of course, these are not the only things that the Recon has that can get you spotted, because there is also a lot of gadgets they can use. First of all, there is the Recon Drone. This can be piloted for a limited amount of time, also within a limited range. But when you are below the Recon Drone, you will get spotted as a red dot above the enemy's minimaps and also with a red dot above your head, so the 3D spotting. This red dot will stay for 10 seconds and the range of the drone is roughly 80 meters. Your counter for this is of course to destroy the drone, or as usual, get behind cover inside of a building or inside of a cloud of smoke. Then moving forward, we have the TUGS, which is the class gadget of the Recon that you can simply place on the map in any location, and then it will spot enemies in close proximity. And for the TUGS, this proximity is really close, so probably around 2 or 3 meters only. But the TUGS will also spot you on the minimap and with a red dot above your head, but only when you are moving. So if you walk close to it, you will get spotted. If you walk away from it or you stop moving, the spotting will stop as well. Now, a good counter for this is that either you destroy it or you just crouch when you hear this TUGS audio cue and you know there must be one close by. Just crouch and then walk crouching out of its proximity, and then you will not get spotted on the minimap and also not spotted in 3D. Smoke works here as well, but only against the 3D spotting. You will still get spotted on the minimap within your cloud of smoke. And the TUGS has 2 sound patterns. One is a low sound for when it's active, and then there is a higher sound, and this higher sound lets you know that you are being spotted. So either crouch or at least throw a smoke or try to get away from it. And what works in a similar way is the throwable motion sensor that simply can be equipped as a throwable for the Recon class. And like the name suggests, this also only works when you are moving close to it. And here the proximity is a little bit further than it is for the TUGS. So I think it is around 10 meters where you get spotted. And it will spot you on the minimap and also in 3D for the whole enemy team. A counter for this again is to destroy it, but this one is a bit harder to find than the TUGS. If you throw smoke, then it will remove the 3D spotting as well, but you still appear as a red dot on the enemy's minimaps. And for some reason, crouching doesn't work at all here. So if you crouch, you still appear with a red dot on the minimap and also with a red dot above your head. I'm not quite sure if this is a bug though, because I think it should work in the same way that the TUGS does. But same as the TUGS, the motion sensor also has an audio cue. So when you get spotted by the throwable motion sensor, then you will hear this double beeping. Another gadget that the Recon has is the laser designator, and even though this is mainly made to designate vehicles so your engineers can lock onto them with their rocket launchers, this can also be used for spotting, especially since it has a very long range. So when you get spotted with a laser designator, you also appear as a red dot on the minimap and with a red dot above your head for the whole enemy team for 10 seconds. Your counter for this is to either disappear behind cover or in a cloud of smoke, or you simply kill the Recon that is using it, because the laser designator also has a distinct red glint. And lastly, the last gadget of the Recon at least that can spot you is the Decoy, and this can also get you spotted on the enemy's minimap and in 3D. Because when you shoot at a decoy, you get tricked and this will get you spotted. So if you see a decoy, either completely ignore it or get closer to it and then destroy it. Because when you shoot at it from range, you will get spotted for 15 seconds for the whole enemy team. And the only counter for this is basically to get behind cover or disappear in a cloud of smoke, or simply don't shoot at it. And that was it for the Recon gadgets, but there are two more, and these are vehicle upgrades that will also get you spotted. Both of them are available on a number of vehicles, but especially on the IFVs. And the first one is the proximity threat detector, and this is basically like a spotting ping that needs to be manually activated. So when the driver activates it, then every enemy that is within about 30 meters around the vehicle will get spotted on the minimap for the whole team. The threat detector has a duration of about 14 seconds, and your only counter for this one is to have a cloud of smoke around you. And then lastly, there is the counter fire radar, and this will get you spotted on the enemy's minimaps and also with a red dot above your heads when you are shooting at a vehicle. So there are a ton of ways that can get you spotted in Battlefield 6. One counter for almost any of these ways to get spotted is to use smoke grenades or a smoke grenade launcher, which unfortunately is only available on the support class. But that also means if you play as support, be sure to always take these smoke grenades with you, because it does not only help yourself to conceal your revives, for example, but also helps your team to not be spotted every second in this game. And one last tip to spotting at the end: if you see these red dots on your minimap and some of them has a little arrow that either point upwards or downwards, this means that if it points upwards, the enemy is on a level higher than you. So if you are in a building, they're on the next level probably, or even higher. And if it points downwards, the enemy is somewhere below you. If there's no triangle within this red dot, then the enemy is roughly on your level. And that was it for today. I hope this video helps you to understand spotting in Battlefield 6 and all the ways that you can get spotted and also how you can counter it. And if you found this helpful, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.